Hi, and welcome to Anesidora's actual play, not live, pre-recorded.
Undead.
I'm excited to share this game with my friends here and also with you. Some people here have played Anesidora before, and some have not. So it'll be interesting to see different people's reactions. Let's just take a moment to go around and get to know everybody. I'll start. My name is Bruce Monick. I'm one of the creators of Anesidora, the role-playing game. This all kind of started with running actual plays for fun and running games for friends, and now we're trying to do it for real, and I'm really excited about it. So let's get to meet everyone. B. Dave.
It is I, B. Dave Walters. You can find me all over the interwebs, wherever fine streaming content can be located. Streamer, TTRPG, writer, television person, friend to most all of mankind.
Awesome. Dan.
Hi, I'm Dan Steinberg. I'm on the internet, but way less easy to find than B Dave is, because he's just way more handsome than I am.
Stop it.
What can I say? But yeah, happy to be here.
Awesome. Jess.
Hi, I'm Jess Nintendo Cruz. I am narrative designer for Drag Her, our little drag-based fighting game, and a realist creature, generally weird person. If you want to see less of me on the internet, then just keep checking the regular internet because I don't really go there.
Thanks. PJ.
Hi, everyone. My name is PJ McGaw. You can find me all over the internet at PJ McGaw. I am a TTRPG streamer, writer, producer, freelancer, and actor performer. I do a lot of things. I do too many things. I'm excited to do this. I actually got to play Anesidora, I think a couple of years ago, back around the beginning of the Panini, and I'm excited to be here once again.
Awesome. And Ryan.
Hi, my name is Ryan Omega, he, him, and I am a host, an experienced designer, and I have a YouTube channel called Geek Public, which is essentially Geek NPR. And I first played Anesidora on my very first actual play when Bruce ran that. So I'm excited to come back into this world.
Nice. Yeah, it's awesome to have you back, Ryan.
Thank you.
So, welcome to the world of Anesidora. I'll tell you a little bit about the setting. So Anesidora is a mythological science fiction role-playing game that mixes the magic of ancient mythology with strange and super advanced science fiction. Within the world of Anesidora, there are these giant crashed spaceships from hundreds of years ago, where long ago people lost the knowledge of how they work and how they run and how everything functions. And over time, as they were able to reestablish things, they ran into these ancient beings, these shades that are the spirits of artificial intelligences programmed by the people who originally came to the planet, to these things called the Ascended, which are giant machine beings that also have taken on the personalities of mythological figures. Through working with these shades and Ascended, humanity was able to re-understand some of how this science worked, but they recontextualized it all into magic and religion, which is how the modern society approaches it. After society was able to kind of rebuild around this ancient magic and reestablish society, there was unfortunately a horrible winter known as the Fimble Winter that caused crops to fail, people had to abandon their homes, and most of them ran to these ancient spaceship gods. And they asked them to help save them. So the gods used their wisdom and calculated how many people they could keep alive inside of them with heated environments and with food. And the priesthood might have manipulated it a little bit to make sure that people that they wanted stayed in the ships. And those people were chosen by the gods to survive this horrible winter. And everyone else in the world was left out in the wilderness to survive on their own. They were exiled from society. Now, that killed most people, but some of them were able to survive either through finding their own pockets of safety within the world or literally having their body change and adapt to the world and its cold and its very unforgiving environment. It's been a while since then, multiple generations, multiple centuries. The world has leveled out a bit. The temperatures can still be somewhat extreme, but it's survivable. And the people have come back together, and you have the chosen who wield the power of the gods through this magic, and the exiled who live out away from society within their own new reestablished cultures and tribes and clan groups. And just to clarify too, the exiled do wield their own magic, either through ancient things that they found, through ruins and secret places, to the power of Anesidora herself, because the pantheists worship these god cities and spaceships, but the Anesidorans, who are what many of the exiled identify as now, actually worship the planet and believe that they were literally rejected by the gods and now follow a new religion. I think we're going to dive into the story a bit and introduce our characters as they appear. So we're going to start with PJ. Your character, how do you pronounce your character's name?
Hoyas.
Koyas. Tell us a little bit about Koyas and who he is.
Hoyas is a much older gentleman, probably somewhere in his late 40s, maybe even early 50s. He is a member of the exiled community, and in that he is a religious figure, a social figure, more specifically, a seer, getting visions. And he uses these visions to become someone that the people of the exiled community can kind of lean on for love and wisdom and just a better outlook on the harsh realities of being exiled. And he then takes that expertise and goes on hunts. So he's not unaccustomed to the unnecessary violence that occasionally happens. I would just say with that, he is looking forward to, I guess, what the next vision tells him.
Well, Koyos, while you are living in your village, a 24-hour cycle is how time is tracked in Anesidora, because the days and nights are actually significantly longer than they are in our world. So you are a few cycles travel away from the great god city of Apollo, where you and your clan has lived for an incredibly long time, multiple generations, establishing themselves. And during the long night, you have a horrible vision of the future, where you can see these black tendrils reaching out and choking the life from the people of your clan, the people in the nearby territories, and even the plants and the animals start to die off and turn black in this horrible vision of the future. And at the center of all of it, you see a man wearing the regalia of the Apollo priesthood. He has golden hair and these silvery eyes, and it seems like he stares into your soul as this thing in his hand sprouts these black tendrils reaching out towards you. But before this reaches you, you see a vision in a moment of light of a group of people. You can barely make out their shapes, but their faces and something about their appearance, you feel like you know them, you feel like you've met them before, even though you're sure you never have. And then you awaken in a cold sweat, knowing that those people may be your only hope.
I must find these people, or else my nightmare becomes a reality. Is it morning yet? Oh, my bones are so tired.
Yes.
Is it morning yet? Yes.
So the morning doesn't come for a few cycles as you prepare for your journey to find these people, but the sun is just starting to rise over the horizon as you prepare and say your goodbyes to your clan. Meanwhile, in the city of Apollo, Crito is meeting with some of his supervisors, high priests who follow the light of Apollo, and they bring you in. Crito, it is good to see you.
Yes, it is wonderful to see you. Is it a blessed chosen day?
The sun rises again, and with that, our power.
Yes, glory to Apollo and the god cities.
It is a beautiful place. But something has happened here, Crito. Something terrible. One of your fellow priests Pathos. You may have met him in passing. You might
Oh,
recognize, if you remember, he has golden hair and silvery eyes.
oh
Dark.
yes, he is certainly one of the blessed with such grace and beauty of Apollo. I do remember. I do remember him. Yes.
Good, good, wonderful. You see, it has come to our knowledge for many years that he sometimes operates outside of the great teachings. Now, he's brought about results, so we've looked the other way sometimes. But he has done something unforgivable. He
Oh
has stolen one of the relics of Apollo. We
no, no, that doesn't sound like pathos. I know he rides that line, but there's not a line that we cross.
no, and that is why we are asking you to look into this.
Oh,
Now, we could send soldiers out and a variety of other people, but if we were to do that, we might embarrass the church, and that cannot happen.
oh yes, bad optics. We cannot have this. Uh, I will handle this discreetly, but I will need access to a lot of resources very quickly, if you don't mind, for the sake of the church.
Of course, we will provide you with whatever resources you need. Be sure to make use of them. Feel free to hire exiled to assist you, or possibly chosen that you meet in your path. Whatever is necessary, but do not involve the church in any official stance.
Of course, glory be to the chosen and to Apollo without informing the rest of the church for scandal. I
Yes.
understand.
May Apollo bless and light your path.
May Apollo bless and light your path.
Kratos leaves the God City after preparing his journey, getting supplies together. He's able to get a handful of powerful and useful items for trade, which he can use among the people. I would love to know, Credo, have you met Krell, Anemone, or Galetti at any point in the past?
I feel like he would have met Galati and Anemone as a shopkeeper in some point in passing.
So you travel to visit Anemone at her shop because that seems like a place you know she would definitely be, and she's easy to find.
Mhm.
When you two meet, I forgot to have you take a moment to describe what you look like, Krito.
So Crito looks like a man of indeterminate age because of staying indoors, cushy lifestyle, and lots of moisturizer. And always needing to be in front of people, his presence must be pristine. He wears a stiff collar, uh, a garment that speaks of radiance as the glory of Apollo, a little bit of a silver tint, and he wears a headpiece that marks his rank within the church.
Of course. And you enter Anemone's shop. First, Anemone, I'd like to hear a little bit about your shop, what it looks like, and the area around it, and then you yourself when you meet Krito.
Yeah, Anemone's shop is sort of a very bright flower shop, but it sort of she's a worshiper of Persephone, so it combines kind of a love of nature and florals with a deep passion for the underworld. So there's lots of dark flowers, there's lots of purples and blues, not too many yellows and oranges here. There's a few of them, but she likes to respect, the things that can shine brightly in the darkness. It's a little bit more of an unusual shop, but even on the outside of her shop, flowers and vines grow out of it. She has difficulty restraining the ability to want things to grow, so it just sprouts out from her shop. Anemone herself, who is me, she's very pale. She has brightly colored hair, if you're seeing a trend, but she always has some sort of dirt or leaves in her hair. She looks a little bit unkempt at most of the times, but she's got a bright and sunny disposition as far as how she feels about nature, and she sort of takes people as an extension of nature when they are respectful of the flowers and nature around her.
Krito, you enter Anemone's shop, and what do you talk about?
I look around, I greet Anemone, and I ask, how many yellow and orange flowers do you have? I would like to collect them for the church. I give generously because I know how very rare they are in your shop.
I have 3. Do you want all 3? Would you like 1 or
I will take all 3.
Oh, wow. So generous. What a generous benefactor you and your great Lord Apollo are in terms of brightness and sun. Not, like the underworld, but let me get those for you.
Of course.
So I wrap them up. I put a nice big spread of dark colored flowers around the outside.
Nice, nice.
I love how you frame these yellow flowers with all the darkness. It feels correct. How is your business going? He looks around and sees if there's anyone else in the shop.
Oh, it looks like the two of you are alone right now. She doesn't see a lot of foot traffic certain times of day.
Have you seen our lost little lamb known as Pathos or Pathos or however that's pronounced now?
Oh, I don't think he's come through my shop. I've heard whispers from the plants of something odd happening, and I'm not sure if that's what they're talking about. But I think I would have remembered such a brightly colored human.
Can you ask your Flora who might be a good person to talk to in regards to Pathos's location? We also understand the need for discretion if that needs to be handled with a coin.
Oh, I getcha.
Oh yes, yes.
Let me get the Vine network on. Is there a way that I can talk to an extension of Vine networks to see if they've seen anything?
So you reach out to the plants and the vines, and because this is your shop, your roots go deep here. You can reach out and see and speak to all the plants in the area surrounding your shop and the town around it. And they tell you that yes, a man has come through that matches Krito's description. They remember him from his golden hair that reminded them of some of the more yellowy, beautiful flowers that grow in the area around Apollo. And they also inform you that your old friend Galiti is in town recently, and he also might know Krito because the two of you have worked together on something in the past. And they also let you know that there is a exiled gentleman who has a nice, proud beard. And PJ, do you have any other changes about you? I know that was something we mentioned.
You see, a man with a nice long brown beard, big stripe of gray here, and a little bit of salt and pepper on the sides. Keeps his hair short, maybe even tied up in an up and down ponytail. And you also see, some nice long ears so that he can stay cool when it's hot outside, like an elephant, but also so he can hear better at night. Some brown gray eyes inside of his head.
Perfect. And they say that he particularly stuck out because he was also asking around about a man with golden hair, and he was asking about a woman who matched your description, which is very strange.
Oh, this is troubling. The plants are telling me quite a few things. This might be more than you bargained for, but I think we can find some help. I think that you might know Galiti. Do you know him?
Galiti, the one with Galiti has the puppy. Galiti has the puppy.
Some people think of it as a puppy.
Yes.
Most people don't. But yes.
Yes.
Yes. So I am seeing visions of him around. He might be somebody, but I'm also seeing a vision of a man with a beard and a stripe down it who is also looking for the man you're looking for. And they're also looking for us. It's all very interwoven, if you will.
Interwoven. I have an idea. I may have to hire you to look over flowers in a certain area. Would you mind being available for the rest of the day while we go and meet with these people and make
I'm
sure
way
that...
ahead of you.
Yes,
And I
all right, let's do
flip the
that.
sign and it says closed. And I grab a basket full of flowers because you never know.
You never know. You never know. More indifferent flowers.
So, meanwhile, Koyos is asking around town where he runs into Krell, a merchant selling goods from his farm with his young son. And Krell, why don't you take a moment to describe what you and your son look like?
Krell is average build. He's farmer, homesteader, exile. Looks a lot older than he is, just from having to live a hard life working outside of the town, outside of the city. Coming in and working with people inside the city to sell goods and to sell his produce and everything. But he does have a short beard, short hair, weathered face. His son is about 11, not old enough where he's been doing a lot of work yet, but old enough where he is starting to learn everything and go along with his father so that Krell can teach him the ways of the world.
Great. I'll just take a moment about the world and the setting to tell you, Anesidora, because the world is so alien, the temperatures can fluctuate a lot, you have long days and nights, it means a lot of crops from Earth don't really grow very well there. So you actually grow a variety of either alien plants, many of which don't necessarily taste amazing, but they'll keep people alive, to a lot of things like funguses and mushrooms that you can grow at night in the dark. A lot of root vegetables that you can also grow underground and keep like preserved. Really quick, talk to Koyos for a bit and maybe tell him a little bit about what goods you're selling.
The harvest has been decent this year. I think it'll be enough to keep us keep us going for, whatever changes might come in the colder parts of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good harvest. Yes. You
Any visions lately?
I have had a terrifying nightmare. A dark omen. Hold on a second. I kind of like turn around. My lithe body of a hunter kind of takes a few steps back, and I kind of frame you up just like this. And then I kind of have to close in a bit because your kid's kind of in the picture. And I get right up to you. My hands, my long, kind of dirty hunter fingers, so I kind of grabbing you by the face and adjusting your head left and right. Kind of see your teeth for just a moment. Just your teeth, like smile, like a little bit of a smile. Yeah, you go. Yes. Yeah. That's the teeth of a chosen. Well, no, sorry, that's a chosen one. The person in my dreams, you see.
My teeth were in your dream?
Yeah, yes. You see, there was this light, and it was very dark, but then very bright. And I saw 4 strangers standing heroically, and one of them had your beard. And now I see your teeth clear. Yes, as a bell ringing in my head. Krell, you are a farmer and a father, yes?
Yeah.
I apologize for this question, but can you be a killer too?
I don't necessarily want to use that kind of word to describe myself, but I look at my son. Sometimes you have to do things to protect those you care about.
Yes. Now, I'm not saying it will come to this. It could be a very simple matter of conversation. But as these things tend to go, when the gods ask for heroes to rise, generally something must fall. So if you can give me that, then I think we can stop the destruction from coming.
Miss Koyos, I want to, if you need me to help you, I will. I hope it doesn't come to that. I want to teach my son that there are ways to work with people and not against people.
Oh, may I talk to your boy? What is this strong lad's name?
His name's Pizzo. This is Koyos.
Pizzo. Hello, Pizzo. My name is Koyos. I am a man of knowledge, insight, and hopefully peace. And let me give you a little advice. The world will always cry for love and peace. And it wants so desperately for you to give them that. You can do that, little Pios. But sometimes that peace never comes. And you must hurt your heart so that others can flourish. Be a good boy, Pios. Protect others and protect their hearts more. You can do this. I know you can.
Pizzo would just say, oh, okay. And look at his dad, look at Corell, and Corell just like kind of shrugs while Koyos isn't looking, and is looking at Pizzo, and then Pizzo, yeah, I'll listen to that. Thanks.
Good boy. Protect your heart. Protect others more. Now, Krell.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot to ask, but if you can, make sure the boy is safe. Grab your things. There is a being of golden hair and silver eyes that wishes to just extend a tendril of death. And we need to stop that.
It's too far. Is this a now, or you do need this now? Is this urgent and immediate?
The gods aren't very big on giving me a dedicated timeline. They're really more of abstract. I'd rather not wait for this to become an ass-up situation. So I think expediency is divine in this case.
I only ask because I don't, then in that case, I don't know if I will have time to take Pizzo home. So I will go with you as far as I feel is safe for him.
As a father, I must ask you another terrifying question. Do we arm the boy?
Not right now. No, I don't want. I want him to watch and learn.
Good. The boy is a watcher, not a soldier. I will protect that in him.
I want to keep his hands dirty with farm work and not with other acts.
And if the gods are correct, that's the only things that will dirty his hands when we're done. Is good work.
While the two of you are having a moment, Crito and Anemone arrive at the market. Anemone she's also packed up her large olivac, which is sort of a mix of an oxen and a beaver. It has huge, large horns that extend from the top of its shoulders, as well as smaller horns that come out of the bottom of its head. She's used these horns to put on additional straps, and it's carrying a lot of various supplies and goods, everything from what she might need for adventuring to various shop goods and flowers and things that she might want to trade. And by the way, this Olivac's name is Hyacinth, and she is a very loyal ally to Anemone. As Anemone and Crito arrive in this market, they also see Galati there shopping. So, Galati, what do you look like in this market?
If I might go back one small second for a little interlude, is you come up, you just sort of hear, he's kind of over by a wagon, and he's like talking to something that's kind of obscured behind the wagons, and you hear, okay, now not again. We talked about this, all right? We gotta pay for the chickens first. No, come on, hang on a second. You know what happens when you get a mad on in public. It becomes everybody's problem, okay? Now, I compensated that shopkeep for this chicken, but only the one. Foul, not that. I will go home. I will take you home right now. And then I sort of turn and notice their approach, and when I turn around, you see, I look at you with this very warm smile on my face, but from behind me, you see there's like a rifle tucked over my shoulder that rotates around on like an automatic arm and like locks right into place. And you hear like a loud whine, like, and I'm like, whoa, Morgan, everybody just be cool. Why is everybody so on edge today. Hello, friends. And I kind of gently, usually it sort of fights with me to go, ah. Oh, and I guess I should say that he is a very large, dark-skinned man, but he has piercing, almost supernaturally blue eyes that almost don't look human, and like a black band, a very dark band that kind of goes across his face to his ears that are like slightly pointed, like not so much as Koyos, but just almost just like very slightly bat-like. But has a huge smile on his face and is like, "It is a day of redemption, friends. Hello, hello."
Hello, Galati, glory of Apollo be upon you.
Are you well?
Yes, absolutely. Creto, please do not boop foul without.
But Fowl is right there. The glory. Look at his beautiful, beautiful face. I just want to just smush it in my hands.
You see, Galati kind of puts his hand over back behind that thing, and you can hear something like fiercely scrambling, and he's like, "France, they are France, Fowl, they are France." And from back behind you, this thing comes running out. Bruce, I will let you describe what Fowl looks like.
Sure. So Fowl is a howler, which is a creature within Anesidora. He is about the size of an Irish wolfhound, which, for those who might not know, is quite large for a dog.
Big doggo.
He has his huge forelimbs actually come back into furry wings, much like a very furry bat. Under that, he has another set of smaller limbs, and then large hind legs and a big bushy tail. But then his face, he has 6 kind of deep blue eyes and these large bat wings that actually look a little reminiscent of Galati's appearance.
What?
And he jumps up at Anemone and Creto. And Galati, how is he acting right now?
Well, we've discussed at length how he's supposed to act around friends. So if you notice, Galati is very much like looking at him, prepared to reach out and grab him in a second. But I would say that big bat-like nose comes straight towards you, Creto, and is about to just goober and snot all over you with this wolf bat face. And at the very last second, Galati kind of just has him by the scruff, and he's like, I don't want him to mess your finery there.
Oh, Fowl, you are so beautiful. Look at that nose. Look at that beautiful nose. Start playing with that. Oh, are you hungry? Are you hungry?
No, don't use H. And then I very much let him go to just
and I get tackled and I roll over. It's like, oh, I forget how big you are. Oh, wow. Oh, you are so large.
Straight to the ground,
so
jumping
large.
all over him, pawing at him everywhere.
Can I ask if he and Hyacinth get along, or are they a little standoffish of each other?
Well, I think Fowl is obviously aggressive, but also aggressively affectionate. And Hyacinth, she's very nice and gentle. So it's up to the two of you to determine how their feelings are.
I would say, since you did expressly describe my companion as ill-tempered, I would say after a moment of just licking and loving, there's the slow head rotation and all 6 eyes kind of narrow, and I'm like, no, friend.
Hyacinth just sort of takes it in stride. She got a big, heavy head. I think she just looks, and it's just like, this guy.
Anemone, hi, hello. You look floral.
As usual, yes. Me and some other people might be in need of your services. No one in particular, and not my friend here, but someone else.
Why are you talking like that?
If you happen to be available, you can help us search for flowers, since I'm hiring a flower thing for the church and you're available, so you and Fowl can come along with Anemone and Hyacinth, and we will all gather flowers together. That's
No
all
one's
we are doing.
A few people in
no
the
one is
crowd look
listening
over
to
and they're
us.
like, "What's
I don't-
going on here?"
Right.
You definitely attracted a lot of attention,
Uh,
including, by the way, the attention of Koyos and Krell, who look over at this whole incident.
Friends, glory of Apollo be on you all. We are going to have a grand gathering, and it just means that we need to have flowers appropriate to our festival. You may know these wonderful companions here, Anemone of the flower shop dedicated to Persephone, and here we have Galati, a loyal knight of Gaul, who also serves within the god cities. Please do not mind us, but glory of Apollo be on you all. We are now heading in this direction.
He's doing covert, Galati.
Is this
He's doing
so?
covert.
This is subtle. Oh, okay, all right. Got it.
Almost everyone in the market is looking at you guys.
Yeah, hello. Yeah. And I very much am sort of like trying to smooth your clothing out and everything and kind of like get some of the goober off. I'm like, oh, you got to get that off. It does stain. It absolutely stains.
We have cleaners. It's fine.
I think we should leave the marketplace.
Well, you said you were looking for someone. Do you have any personal effects by chance? Because a Fowls that knows that prodigious proboscis is not just for show. He actually has an exceptional sense of smell if we're doing a tracking sort of thing.
Do we have any of his smells? Do you have any smells saved on you?
Galati, do you remember a companion of mine a long time ago, golden hair, silver eyes of Pathos or Pathos or whatever he goes by now?
Storyteller.
Yes.
Is there any chance in my pack I've got a scarf or a scrap? I mean, it makes sense to me that I would keep these kind of things for rescue missions if I ever need Fowl to help me. So
Okay.
I probably have like, like kerchiefs, a shred, a tear of cloth from a lot of people I know to help me
I will
find
buy
them.
that your character is like well planned enough to plan for this in advance.
All right, you remember him. Yeah, I know. We're looking for fun. We're looking for fun. Wait, are we looking for fun or are we, and I just kind of tap the rifle. Like, are we looking for him or are we looking for him?
I think we're uncertain.
We are looking for him. It could be either.
It's Foul, and I do just sort of like, come on, let me see. What you got, buddy? Show him how we do it, things.
Pull through the pack, you find the scarf, all these other things fall out on the ground, and as Val runs over excitedly to sniff the scarf, he is all over everything else, messing up their spells.
Great. By the way, Anemone, you by chance wouldn't have a personal effect or item that I might hold on to should we need to locate you in the future, would you?
I think, and then I'm gonna, if I can, reach and pull like a flower that's growing out of me off and just give it to you. And it still kind of like moves and breathes as if it's still alive, but it's very clearly been plucked off of a branch.
That is new. Hey, but theoretically, I try and set Fowl on this scent if I've got it at great cost to me. And I do, for now, I actually kind of tuck this flower in my lapel. One thing I didn't describe is I'm very lightly armored, wearing something not completely different from this, even though he clearly has this large rifle. But there is what looks like a thread that sort of goes across, that goes from silver to kind of white. And in the middle, there's a pair of black shears. Like the thread kind of goes through the shears, like it could cut it at any time, basically, is what's on my chest.
You do definitely get the scent, by the way. Fowl is already sort of like trying to get your attention to move in another direction, out towards the woods.
Now, for the sake of ease of narrative, Sarah, you said Kois and Krell had noticed us.
Oh,
do
yeah.
I by chance know either of them? I mean, as I'm just sort of like surveying the crowd, do either of these
so you look
faces stick
around.
out to me?
You don't know Koyos personally, but you definitely notice him looking at you. And Koyos, you recognize these three people as being from your dreams. And Krell, as a local merchant, you definitely know Anemone. You've probably run into Galati, though don't necessarily know him personally. And Krito is almost certainly new to you. Koyos, would you like to approach this group?
Absolutely. I come walking over, and despite all the being low, because my microphone's right here, Koyos does stand, at his own height. He's not like hunched over the whole time going, I see things. He's not like that. Just want to put that out there. So he comes walking up, just says, good day. Hello, all of you amazing future heroes. I have need of you. May I ask you a question?
Immediately,
Yes.
the rifle. I'm like, no. Hang on. Yeah.
As the rifle goes away, I'm like, boop.
That
Bye, Mr. Rifle.
one has ever booped the Morrigan before. That's interesting.
What question would you like to ask us?
Well, I guess it's two questions. You see, my first question is, I'm looking for a man of golden hair and silver eyes. He's a destroyer, you see.
A destroyer?
A destroyer, yes.
Of what?
Of life. Things that can be destroyed.
I didn't know that's what he was intending to do.
Yeah, I just thought he was in a little bit of trouble, not a destroyer of things.
So to be clear, does that mean we're looking for him?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm picking up what is being put down. Yes, I am looking for him too.
Oh.
And you are...
Oh, my name is Koyos. I am a seer. The gods give unto me a task, and I see it done.
Is your task to catch this man?
My task is to find... Here's my second question. You, with the lovely flowers. Can I see your ears for a second?
Oh, I'm gonna need so much more information as to why you'd like to see my ears, please.
Oh, of course. Krell, please come here for a minute. I need to demonstrate. Krell, if you're so patient.
Yeah.
Hi,
All right.
Krell.
This is Krell. Krell, show them your teeth, Krell. Krell, your teeth. Show them.
I'm instead of showing you my teeth, I'm going to tell you that he asked to see my teeth. Because I feel like showing you my teeth is going to feel really weird. But he says he had a vision, and I think he recognized elements of me in the vision. He may be trying to place you from the vision.
Teeth of a hero, this guy.
Right, yeah.
Hero teeth. That's what he has.
So I keep my eyes locked on Krell because he's the one I know and trust, and I'm looking for worry signs from him. And I push back all of this colorful hair and leaves and everything and show him my ears, but I'm sort of...
I in solidarity take off my hood, and you see my long elf-like ears, and I just kind of look at your ears. I'm not touching them, just looking at them. Looking.
Full disclosure, I was very concerned that you were going to pluck an ear off. I must say that out loud, that's what I thought you would do, yes.
And you would be right to worry. I'm weird, but no. This is God science here. Hold on. Look at the ears, yes. Yes, you. All right. In a dream, I see you four standing together, and your ears, like this. That's the ears of tomorrow. Yes. It's so clear, crystal clear. You, Krito. Can you flare your nostrils? Flare your nostrils.
No.
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 Okay,
Listen, I understand you had a vision, but you need to transmit that vision in a way that is going to help us help you. Now, it looks like we are going to be finding this man with the golden hair and the silver eyes, and you also have the same idea. Have you seen this person who we know as Pathos recently? And then we could all go together, probably at a distance with you until we know more.
Well, then it's come to this. Storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
Can I open up their eye and show them the dream that I had the night before?
You do technically have the power to perform a miracle. So,
As one does.
so
Big
Casually.
seer.
absolutely yes.
Okay. So then I'll say,
All right, fine. I try to be discreet. I understand my methods are uncouth. I will give you my sight. If you just please give me your hands, all of you, in the center, and then close your eyes, and I'll show you that which your eyes cannot see.
Guido extends his hands in faith.
Thank you.
Surprisingly, so does Galati. I'm just like, Foul, if he does something weird, kill him.
And I just kind of like nod a little bit to Galati. He's like,
I give him a salute. I'm like, you better kill me, son.
Anemone puts her hands. She's like, I can't believe I just showed the guy my ears already.
I showed him my ears
like
for
a
this?
common
What?
harlot showing off a lobe, right?
I just
so
put my
fresh of him.
hands in.
I'm just using it for your ears. Okay, so that
You join the
yeah.
circle?
Yes, yeah.
so one hand starts to raise and a light starts to glow from the middle of my hand, a light in the shape of an open eye. And as all hands are in the center, I grab a hold of them as far as I can and try to put in all your minds at once the horrible nightmare that I had had the night before, and exactly how the storyteller described it at the beginning of the game.
So now that you're all together, it becomes much more clear. You can clearly see each of you standing together in this strange ancient ruin. There are falling stones and old metal and some sort of strange devices all around you. You see at the center of all of this Pathos, who you now clearly can see holding what looks like a silvery vial, a little larger than his hand, a cylinder that he barely wraps his hand around. And then behind him is some sort of being of horns and wings and hooves, all sorts of strange animals put together. And they both turn and look upon you. And then Koyos releases his hand.
So you
It's-
understand now.
I'd say the rifle snaps back, but this time it's not a joke. Like Galati, like very much like clutches up on it and is like looking for like, and you hear the whine like emanating from it. What? What? What was? Where? What? Explain.
Okay, all right. Whoa. Number one, the gods. Number two, they want us to stop this from happening. And I think we all agree this needs to stop happening. And number three, gods. So I think that answers everything.
Yes, gods, and because Galati is a knight, he did act appropriately as a knight of the Chosen would have.
I have no disagreement with his defense. He is right. He is reacting as he should. All I'm saying is that this Pathos of yours, he is armed with terrible knowledge and fiendish support, and if left unchecked, will destroy through creeping tendrils the land that feeds us, the communities that bind us, and the love that created us. And I see you for stopping that.
Whoa. Foul's got his sense so we can move, but and I look at Krell and I'm like, all due respect, what we just saw doesn't seem like a place for a boy.
I'd rather keep him with me than leave him in the city. Leave him someplace safe alone, I will. He knows how to run and hide.
Mm-hmm.
Storyteller, I do know that we've established that Foul is too small for me to ride, but is he big enough for an 11-year-old to ride?
Sure. He's not going to be happy about it, but he might do it.
He's never happy. I would say I'm still clutching the rifle, but you all hear me give like a short whistle that I'm not even going to try because Zoom will noise gate it. but it's just sort of like 2 quick pulses and like a third longer one. And you see Fel immediately walks over and just kind of like lays down between us, Krell. And I say, "So I know I've just made your acquaintance, but this howler has seen me through my fair share of trouble. And if you allow it, he will watch over your boy, and so will I."
All right, I know of your reputation, and it's a good one, so I trust you. So I thank you for the offer. I'll kind of gesture Pizzo over and say, "Listen, you're not going to have an opportunity, son, to ride this kind of thing many times in your life, so you might as well take the one now." Pizzo will start like nervous, like with trepidation, start like kind of like moving to like climb up on the back.
I'd say,
I think.
oh, so go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say really quickly. I think Hyacinth sees what Fowl is doing and tries to do the same lie down thing and looks to you. Looks to you as like, did I do good? Kind of like,
Aw.
Yeah. Very, very much give a scritch when Fowl's not paying attention here, you know? I was just going to say, I think Fowl gives me that look of like cats when people have put costumes on them for photos, you know? That they do it, you know? But I mean, there's just sort of this ambient disdain.
they're plotting your murder in their heads for sure.
Yeah. Valid, you know?
Krell, a question for you. Can Pizzo defend himself?
He's not, I haven't taught him how to fight per se, but he can get out of trouble more than he can get into it.
Galati, do you have something sharp that he can hold just in case?
I think we might want to shield the boy more than make the boy our shield. I think that what would behoove him if the time comes is I can perhaps wind some sturdy branches around him or create a place for him to hide, but I don't think this poor boy should be in charge of us. I think we should be in charge of him.
I do not want him to fight. What I want him is just in case he has a way to defend himself in case something happens. Otherwise, he is only a liability where we are going.
Storyteller. Although it's not on my character sheet, I just have my rifle. I mean, I think it's a fair assumption that someone that like lives off the land would just have a knife.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind kind of like I take the whole holster and just kind of hand it out to him. Just nothing too crazy. Kind of like a 6-inch, almost like Bowie knife that's like more for gutting fish than people, but will do the job. And I just sort of like make eye contact with Krell for a second as I'm clearly about to hand it to Pizzo.
I'll nod, and then I'll, like, as he hands it to Pizzo, I'll say, "Listen, Pizzo, a weapon is a responsibility, and I want you to. I know that you're responsible, and I want you to prove to me that you are responsible enough to handle this while you have it."
Can I approach Pizzo and in the other hand that he has the knife in, can I put some sort of like flower or branch form or something that is more like, I know the knife is meant for defense, but something that speaks to a non-weapon in his hand is just like a choose. Like, just
So you're presenting it not as like two things, but like as a choice?
As sort of a like, your path is yours to, you know, walk however you see.
So Pizzo is now staying there a little, like, I think he's happy that you're respecting him and talking to him, but also a little like overwhelmed, I think.
Yeah.
Lots hitting him really fast.
Yes.
Life.
Comes at you fast.
I'm gonna tell him to run to the first sign of danger. So, you know.
I'm gonna gently tap Krell on the shoulder, just and kind of pull him just like a step away. And I'm gonna whisper in his ear. I would be remiss if I didn't at least offer. I have a conclave of exiles that can watch the boy. It would be a big work on my part, but the boy would be provided by a community and protected without any need of exposure to violence. I am offering this because if I didn't, I would be failing you. It's still your choice.
Well, listen, we pass a place that's safe for me to leave him. I'm going to leave him there, but the city is not a place to do that.
Fair enough. If you ever change your mind, just tell me, and my exiles will protect the boy in the community.
Like if we're even near my farmstead on the way, I don't know where we're going. If we pass by my farmstead, I'm just going to drop him off at home.
Oh, yeah, if we pass the farmstead, yeah, put the boy on the farm.
No, it
course.
looks like Fowl is really itching to get started and get going now that he has that scent. And it definitely looks like it's not in the direction of Krell's farmstead and is actually towards these woods a little to the southwest, away from the city.
Let's go.
So you guys supply quickly, get what you need, and you head into the woods. So there is an old path out here. There are a lot of people who come in and out of the woods, people who, as I said, collect wild fungus and mushroom out here. There's also berries and other natural foods. But the deeper you get in the woods, the more old and worn this path is. You guys are actually traveling out here for a while. It looks like Pathos probably has at least 3 cycles on you guys moving ahead. You don't know exactly where he is or how far he got into the woods, but the scent is old, and without Fowl, this would be an incredibly difficult or impossible journey. But you maintain the scent, and eventually you get tired. You've been traveling for hours and hours, and you have to set up a sort of makeshift camp. And Hyacinth goes and rests and lies down. Fowl is also pretty tired, so he's going to lie down too, especially since he's been carrying Pizzo on him through this journey. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick round to just find out what you guys are getting up to in this camp. And what are you doing with your downtime as you rest?
So with Credo, he gets more and more uncomfortable the farther away he is from the embrace of the city. The only thing that keeps him okay and sustained right now is that he glamps rather than camps. So he has a pop-up tent that assembles itself in less than 10 seconds, and it has a sprawling bed, and it almost looks like just a little resort inside of a yurt. And but he uses that in order to kind of commune with the god city, since he still has magic and communications, so he's aware of what is going on. Oh, I guess I need to ask the game master, do I see anything within the church communications that speaks to anything that Pathos has done, just in case?
So wait, you're looking through like old church communications that you brought with you, or how are you hearing from the church?
So one of his abilities is the divination, and divination through communication, like a tablet. And I don't know if that exists in this world where essentially there's the equivalent of an internet that still exists.
Within this world, there is something called Hades, which is often viewed as the underworld because it is the place of shades and spirits. And it is the place where beings without bodies exist. And so that is sort of like the internet. It's like any magical device projects a field about 90 feet out in every direction, where you can enter the realm of Hades, you can communicate with shades, you can talk to each other and explore this other alternate magical world. However, the devices only projected about 90 feet. So when you're out in the woods in the wilderness, you are disconnected. Out here, you can't talk to the church, you can't hear from the church, you can't communicate.
Then that means he's gonna panic. He's gonna panic. It's like, it's been a cycle without Hades. What's going on?
Yeah, I was going to
he
say
doesn't show anybody else, but he's like, no, what is this?
Within the God City limits, there are enough relays that you can kind of always connect with everything. But out here, you're kind of like in a bubble of magic.
So he's going to just pretend everything is fine. It's like, no, what's going on? And occasionally shake or hit the devices, because like, that's got to work, right? No, No, it's not. Oh, his smile is a little too wide when dealing with things because he is just trying not to freak out.
Wonderful. So next up is Anemone. How comfortable do you feel in the woods? And what do you...
Oh, she is just laying in the dirt. She's got her hands just soaked in there. Her feet are in the dirt. I mean, she wasn't wearing shoes in the first place, but she's got all of her limbs in there and she's just talking to people. She's laughing at stories from trees. She's doing weird guy stuff. But what she's trying to do, send out at least like a plant in each direction of each person to kind of like get a beat for how they're feeling and seeing if there's just if there's something like nearby them listening to them, but also that's like she finds plants comforting. So maybe like a flower blooming near them, she hopes brings them some sort of like, it's okay, we're all here. But maybe they don't know that it's her. So it's just some weird plant blooming by them that seems terrifying. She's having a great time.
There's like maybe a few little lights, maybe like a little bit of dew in the air, and you transform this kind of unforgiving wilderness into a beautiful little grove to hide in. Wonderful. The next up is Galante.
I'd say near the edge of the camp, closest towards the direction that we're going. I would say File kind of like circles a couple of times and then just like plops down. And so again, he's got like these like wings over his smaller arms, and so he lifts one of the wings, and Galati just kind of like nuzzles under there, like still holding the rifle kind of across his chest, and then File wraps the wing around him. And you see he just looks down at the rifle and goes, "Morrigan, sleep mode." And the rifle starts to radiate a little bit of heat and just like vibrates slightly. It's almost like white noise, but it's like you couldn't hear it more than like 6 inches away from it type thing. And for somebody who's surprisingly out in the middle of nowhere and everything, he just goes to sleep almost instantly. Like it's fine. Just like has his gun and his wolf and it's just like...
Nice.
You know?
Beautiful. Koyos. You've spent a lot of time in the wilderness. How is this for you?
I am going to kind of create a simple pick up and go shelter, and I want to get out like a small pack of like incense made of like moss and certain like roots and spices. I'm gonna light it, and I'm gonna have a vision before I go to bed. I'm gonna try to have a vision before I go to bed and use my oracle power.
You see this powerful vision, and what exactly are you trying to focus on and draw upon in this moment?
I think if I had to be more specific, it would be the location of Pathos and the trials and tribulations, like to get to him tomorrow, and yeah, all that kind of good stuff.
You see this strange beast that reminds you of Fowl, but it's like it gets closer and closer to you and larger as it approaches. And as it gets closer to you, you feel like this is definitely not Fowl. It's something so much worse, some sort of horrible monster. And then as you push past it and under it, and it bursts into shadow and darkness, you see this ancient place filled with magic and shades and spirits wandering around. But there are also like beams of power and walls that you can't pass through. And then you see this thing that's like a living machine floating upon this powerful blue and radiating energy that looks upon you and moves towards you. And then as it grabs at you, it starts to rip you in half until you waken in a cold sweat.
All right, gods. I see what you're doing. I will prepare them tomorrow.
And finally, we have Krell and Pizzo.
Yeah, we're very used to being out in the wilderness, so this is nothing new. Before we go to sleep, I'm just explaining to Pizzo how it's important to work with the people from the city. Us exiled might not be treated the best, but we're all still the more we can work together, the better chance that we will have to survive as a species, and the better the world will be.
And as you all go to sleep, and as I mentioned before, it does not become night. This is day the whole time. The sun is still shining bright and still kind of low in the sky as it moves up. But it is another new cycle. And the way that people track cycles in this world is all the various magical devices have a 24-hour clock on them. And that allows them to kind of track how long they're acting, how long they're resting. So after you've rested for an appropriate amount of time, you pack up and get ready to head out. I also realized that I forgot to tell PJ what his divine intervention actually was going to be. And I think that what it's going to be is that because of your vision, you will get some warning before a threat from your vision appears and presents itself. So that will be useful and come in handy probably pretty quickly.
Yeah. I would like to, at any point in time, like if there's like a nice little breakfast moment, to obviously inform them of the vision I had, and let them know, like,
Again, the gods aren't really big on specificality. They like, I guess you could say metaphor, analogy, simile.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get attacked by something that could really kill us. It's either going to be a shadow beast or it's going to be a big blue orb. Either way, the big danger. Get your weapons. The big danger. Shadow beast orbs. Big danger. Ooh.
Helpful.
Was
Look, if
it
I knew
the
more, I
thing
would
that we were
tell
coming
you.
out for Pathos?
But we should be close. I saw a city made of lights with spirits in it, and it's very close by. If we pass through the darkness, we'll find the city of lights where the blue orb will rip me in half. Don't worry. I'm sure it's all a metaphor. I'm hoping it is all a metaphor.
To be clear, but metaphorically, it was only you that were ripped in half, though, while we're keeping score here, yeah?
Yes. However, the metaphor of me could be the team that I am with. So
But it could also not be any of us.
it could 100% just be me. Like I said, the gods not really big on specificality, specific exactitudes. So we're gonna do our best out there.
Well, and if you represents you, then maybe getting ripped apart doesn't actually represent getting ripped apart. You know what I mean? Like maybe we're not actually in mortal peril.
Are you saying it's a metaphorical ripping apart? Like my walls are going to come down and I can finally be my true self?
That would be a win, I think.
You got to understand and accept that your father was just a man himself and made his own mistakes. Like, I mean, of course, you put him on a pedestal and think that his definition of you was the supreme one. But my friend, you define yourself.
That's what I'm trying to tell Pizzo, is that I'm just a person trying to do the best that I can.
Yes, we're all living in our own way to allow ourselves the grace and love to give to ourselves, so we can then echo that throughout our lives in our community. Love.
Would you say it was a metaphorical metaphor?
I am not high enough for this conversation anymore. Oh boy. I need to go back to my moss and my spice. This is getting heavy. Jesus.
I mean, do two metaphoricals make a literal?
No.
No.
I was also trying to calculate that equation in my head, honestly. I'm like, what did two metaphoricals make? Yeah.
I think they just get deeper metaphorically. It's like an inception of imagery.
It's like if you put two holes together, it just makes one big hole.
Yeah, see, now you're getting it. Gods are just showing me all the holes and how deep the holes are.
I think
your relationship with your deities is quite different than mine.
So you guys pack up all of your various tents and supplies, get them all back onto Hyacinth, and start your journey again, heading deeper into the woods. This is an old place, a place that people don't really go very often. You've heard the occasional exiled might come out here to do like a little journey and experience things, but at the end of the day, people don't really go to this part of the woods and the wilderness. So you head down there and it starts to get darker. Not the sun, because the sun is still up, but these woods are dense and old and ancient. Do you want to say something, BJ?
Yes, please. As we kind of get moving and I see it sort of dims down, I kind of lean over to Krell and I say, would you mind letting Pizzo walk us alongside you for a moment? I'm going to send Fowl out to range a little bit.
I think that's very smart. Yeah, I'll take Pizzo off.
Fowl is very fast. I sort of send him out like right at the edge of where I can see him, you know? And so, I don't know, we'll call it 60 feet or whatever. You know what I mean?
He's super far in these woods. Like I said,
Yeah.
they're quite dense.
Yeah. Maybe I kind of catch him passing behind some trees or something, but just out a little further because I know between his nose and his senses kind of tip me off if something's like wrong. Let Fowl range a little ahead.
You head deeper and farther. If any of you, maybe Galati and Krell and maybe Anemone too, anyone who has like tracking skills and knowledge of that, you take a quick look around and it's pretty easy to tell that Pathos, you think, has definitely been through here. You know that he is a chosen and he doesn't have a ton of experience out in the wilderness, so he's not very good at hiding his trail. You see signs of someone who's made a campfire. You see signs of like someone has picked plants and like very obvious footprints down by the water where you find a natural spring. He's not really hiding his trail very well. And Fowl is right on it, finding new scents as you move constantly. But eventually, Fowl, there's like a moment where Galati kind of loses track of him until Fowl comes running out of the darkness and the shadows and kind of like scrunches like he's afraid of something near Galati and kind of like tries to back up behind him.
When he kind of comes towards me, I just like pet him for a second and step in front of him and like the rifle comes over and I'm like, he's not afraid of much, and the things he is afraid of, we should be as well. And you kind of hear just like a high-pitched whine, and they have 3 barrels on the front of the gun, and they just start slowly rotating. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but eyes open, ears wide.
All
I
right.
pull out my weapon. I got Pizzo behind me.
Yeah.
You're just shooting.
Yeah.
So you send off a few quick bursts. You guys see the sheer power of his energy rifle just blasting and bursting leaves and branches into the air.
Are you just shooting trees?
More accurately, I'm shooting what's in the trees, but it's like, I would say, even to you guys watching, like, it's clear I don't know what it, I'm like, that way, kind of that way, kind of
Right
that
in
way.
front of my salad? Come on.
But you do hear rustling through the trees, and you look up. So it wasn't in front of you, but up in the higher levels of the trees. Something moves and dashes away, climbing through the trees. You can't get a clear look at what it was, but it was big. And you can see the branches, some of them falling and collapsing down as this thing quickly scrambles through the trees away from you guys. And Koyos, you get the sense that some of this is reminiscent of your dream, the way these shadows shift and move in the woods and the shape of this thing.
Stick out an arm and I put it gently on Galati's shoulder and I say,
The shadow beast comes. That's probably it right there in the trees.
Again, to clarify, it only tore you in half, though, correct?
No, the blue orb ripped me in half. This thing kind of like melted and turned into a city, well, a person and then a city. So, yeah, you know, like they do. So I think we should, everyone, and I reach behind me slowly, and you see I kind of grab a hold of something in my back pocket. Remove your weapons and get ready for violence.
Can I talk to the trees and see if they can tell us what's in them?
Sure.
Or more of my friends are killed.
That's what's in them.
Or more tree bark is shed on this land.
Yes.
Streak's alive.
Throwing them out.
Those are the vines.
Nice. So you see her kind of speak to the plants, sense them. It's like the plants kind of like move, and you don't see them actually move, but the way the wind rustles through, it's like they're communicating with her in this strange way. And Anemone is able to distinguish that what is out there is what is called a mixed dog. It is a particularly vicious and dangerous animal that is actually a much larger and undomesticated version of fowl.
Is this like a cousin of Updog?
What's
What's up, dog?
Nothing much. What's up with you? Bye, everyone. It was so nice meeting all of you.
Yeah, exactly. Again, back to Kickstarter. All right. Yeah.
Congratulations, you won Anesidora. We're gonna do
Hooray!
next.
Okay, so
Oh my god.
next dog.
It's a Nyx dog, like the
Oh,
goddess.
Nyx. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like the big, untamed in any capacity version of fowl.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna share with them. I'm gonna look at fowl and say, "It's like him, but worse. So much worse."
That would explain the reaction. Yeah.
Oh my, by the gods, they finally weren't being obtuse. That was what I saw, like foul, but more.
Hmm.
Just out of curiosity, do any of you have any other, shall we say, long-range accoutrement, or am I the only one capable of engaging at some distance?
Well, if I may, there is wisdom in saying that to be ready is human, and then I pull out this massive hunting revolver. To stay ready is divine.
Good, excellent. That's a new scripture I will tattoo on my body as soon as this is over. Yes.
I also have
When
someone that can reach out and touch me by being someone who's out in the wilderness a lot and protecting my farm from animals or whoever might come by. I would certainly have some kind of nothing as high powered as what Galati has, but something that can hit someone from afar. So a crossbow.
Cool. Greedo, are you armed?
He is not armed with a traditional weapon, but he does have a recorder that records audio and video, even though it's not connected to Hades.
So he pulls out his camera like he's in a POV movie.
Yep. Like, all right, here we go.
Oh my god, there was something in the woods. I almost saw it.
That's-
Yep. We're gonna Silent Hill this bitch.
For the glory of Apollo.
Wonderful.
In response, can I summon a few vines up from the ground? They're poisonous. Do not touch them.
So Anemone lifts her hands and these poison spine vines come up to the ground near and around her. And you look out into the woods with all of your weapons, and it looks like it's pretty quiet now. You think whatever it was is gone for now, or possibly just watching you from a distance.
I look at Fowl and I'm like, is it gone or is it just hiding, boy?
It gives a little sniff around, and it looks off in another direction, kind of pointing you towards something.
I give a different whistle this time, and Fowl can actually fly. So I don't want him to go pursue and engage because I'm quite clear on exactly what that is up there, but maybe just kind of straight up, like a better vantage point if Fowl kind of gets some elevation.
I believe Fowl can actually glide, kick off some of the trees and fly around, which to most people looks like flight, but is actually kind of kicking and jumping between trees until he gets to
parkour.
He's excellent at parkouring. When he gets higher, you see him kind of zero in on a location that he's kind of looking at.
Is that location between us and our destination?
It looks like it's actually off to the side a bit. You could keep pushing forward if you wanted.
I look at you all and I say, well, it seems our quarry is off that direction, whereas our destination is off that direction. We could push through, but we always run the risk of being flanked.
And I'm going to defer to your tactical knowledge.
I definitely agree that our flank and our rear is exposed. This creature could come at us from the sky if it's anything like our dear Fowl. So maybe we make a marching order. Weapons at the rear, Croto at the front with his amazing device, just in case if we are attacked. Again, to be ready is human, to stay ready, divine.
Knowing what I know of my time with Fowl, I know this thing is dangerous, but do I know that this Nyx dog is like particularly aggressive? Like, is it the type of thing that like I think it is scattered, or I think it's probably going to come back?
It's probably going to come back, but you do also know that it's not stupid, and you guys are very dangerous. So as long as you stay on your toes and stay together, it's probably not going to try anything.
I just realized I have a ranged weapon, so I am going to pull that out once I put down the camera because I realized that's not going to help here.
Yeah, you could do a wheel
Mount
with the
it,
flashlight.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Right?
Oh, camera mount. Okay, there we go.
A
little pea shooter on top of my device.
I recount all of that to them, and I say, well, between our early warning system, we might be able to proceed a little bit further without being forced to hurt this magnificent creature. At least we won't be caught completely unawares should it try something.
Can I use my recording device to zoom in, essentially, and look for movement?
I mean, it doesn't give you like a huge amount of additional information, but I mean, you can kind of look through it, details. I mean, it's like it's a digital zoom, so like as you zoom in, the picture becomes more pixelated. So
Glad we get spaceships, but not functioning digital zoom. It's like there's some things that even sci-fi cannot give us.
Got spaceships, but not 4K.
Mm-hmm. 8K is still kind of a useless memory hog, yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they just didn't bother putting more resolution in the camera.
It's Nokia bricks are the only things that survive the apocalypse. It makes sense.
They're like, we gave you magic. Be grateful. I'm so sorry your phone isn't 1080 IP or whatever. Be happy.
Well, so you guys continue deeper into the woods. This time, the previous cycle was more kind of like getting to know each other, hanging out, like you've got some pretty flowers in your camp. But this next section is much more tense. People are always looking over each other's shoulders, looking for movement in the distance. And eventually, you do have to make camp again, but it's quick. You set up some watches, and you continue moving deeper into these woods. When you come upon these old pieces of metal that appear to be coming out of the ground, they're worn and ancient, and it looks like plants and vines have started to grow on them. And when you come to this place, Crito is the first to really truly sense the power of Hades and the spiritual energy radiating from this place. But it isn't long after until the rest of you start to feel its power.
Could I ask a point of clarification?
Sure.
Contextual to this society, would us detecting the presence of Hades like be good, bad? Like, I mean, would we be comforted by this? Is the god of death like a positive or not so much?
Yeah, so people don't view this as like a sign of death. They view it as a being close to the spiritual realm and the afterlife, essentially.
Got it.
So this is more, it's not like you're entering the world of death means you're going to die. It's more being close to the world of death means that you'll be able to communicate and contact spirits. So however, it should be noted there are evil and dark spirits, and you're much more likely to run into them when you're out away from the God City. So there is an awe, but like an original definition of awe of, oh, what could this be? This is clearly a powerful thing, but you aren't sure if it's good, like, oh, there's like a beautiful boon coming, or it's bad, we've accidentally walked into the presence of some horrible shade.
Got it.
Some internet troll that lives in the backwoods cabin.
Yep. Whether this is good for us or bad for us is TBD. Got it.
All you know is this overwhelming awe of presence.
It was literally awesome.
Yeah. So as you continue deeper and look around, this is clearly some sort of ancient ruined place, possibly a temple of some sorts. There are clear signs of various magical powers. It seems to be dedicated to Apollo at some point in history, but over time, the signs and paint have all like worn away, leaving behind just like basic statues and carvings dedicated to the gods. And it seems to go deeper and farther into the woods. So, how would you like to approach?
Not familiar with a god Apo, but it seems written on a number of these monuments.
Ah, I see. The glory of Apo is really the glory of Apollo.
Oh, right. Well, but these monuments didn't stay too glorious here. So, I mean, like Apollo didn't feel the need to intervene, or the priesthood was asleep at the wheel. Or...
When people refuse to take care of such glory, Apollo likewise abandons them. So let us go into it and take care of Apollo and see what Apollo can grant us today.
When he says that, I would just say, I kind of like pull out a handkerchief and like dust off one of the monuments. Like, got a little something on his there.
Bring a little bit on there.
I'm like, well, you know who didn't abandon this sacred site is Mother Nature and
They're the plants.
Persephone.
High five, bring it in. Yeah.
We're all here.
There you go. Right, yeah. Right. A little light blasphemy. That's all. I'm just saying that if we're drawing a direct comparison, Persephone seems to be doing pretty well right about now. That's all I'm saying.
So Crito goes through this area, being familiar with a lot of the rites with the Apollo religion. He looks for familiar devices, familiar rituals that might give him information. What is this place and what is it used for?
Okay, so you recognize this place because of your experience and intensive research related to Apollo, that this is an ancient temple that was built before the Fimbulwinter. This is old, a place where people would come and honor Apollo, possibly even before he reawoke. Because for a time, the gods were slumbering until they were reawakened. And this was a place that people would have built and worshipped Apollo. And during the Fimbulwinter, it's probable that the people who used to maintain this temple died and abandoned it. And now it is just a forgotten place in the woods. But you also know that this is definitely a place where you can still connect with powerful shades and spirits.
So using the magic in this, would I be able to better detect where Plato, not Plato, where Pathos could be?
So you place your device down, and you're able to perform a ritual to contact the shades. No specific powerful shade appears, but rather you just feel a presence of possibly many shades or one ancient broken shade. And as you're standing there connecting, Fowl looks over, kind of sniffing something in the air. Everyone is tense for a moment. And then you see a man appear, not Pathos, but a man who's dressed more like an exiled, who wears natural leather and natural furs. He has large antlers that extend 2 to 4 feet away from his body, depending on the angle. And he wears a necklace that appears to be the mark of the sun carved out of wood and gold leaf. And he says, "Ah, what brings you travelers to the temple of Apollo?"
We are looking for Pathos. And why are you dressed like Koyos?
Is Koyos also wearing a sun medallion?
I am, but it's very spiky. It's leather with a bunch of spikes on it, like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
then yeah, he gives the vibe of Koyos because they both happen to be exiled people who are interested in religious stuff. But he doesn't have quite as bushy a beard. He's more clean cut and a little younger. But they both have the appearance of having been in the woods a lot. And as he said, what brings you here?
We are seeking Pathos, the location of Pathos, because we believe that he might be doing dangerous things. Do you know where his location is or what activities he might be doing?
Pathos, you are speaking of a priest of Apollo who came here recently?
How recently?
Barely a cycle he was here. Very recently. He did stop. Took time to honor Apollo like you did. And so I took time to help him and assist him. I showed him the secret paths through this place that are safe, away from the unliving and the horrible dangers here.
If it is within your grace, can you show us all of the places that he touched within this sanctuary?
Here, in this temple?
Yes.
He honored over there the fruits of Apollo, as you are honoring now. He was sure to say a prayer to Apollo here, and he steps over to a sort of old, broken altar where plants are growing up through it and cracking it apart. And he says, he prayed here long and hard. He clearly was tormented by something. He also placed a silver artifact or relic upon the altar, but he seemed dissatisfied with what he heard and what the shade said to him. I am not personally privy to whatever happened there.
Do you know where his location is currently?
He headed deeper. Beyond this small temple, there is a much greater building. I don't know who built it or why. It doesn't seem to have the markings of the gods, but it is a huge place filled with dangers. The unliving wander it. Wraiths are there, spirits that are trying to break away from the underworld and pull others down with them. And other things there.
Do you have a map and approximation of how many cycles it will take to get there?
Oh, it is less than a cycle, maybe only 1 or 2 hours away. If you have paper or something, I can quickly jot it down for you.
Of all the things that Kryto tends to bring with him, it's usually not paper.
Wonderful. He looks around to the rest of the group. Do you have anything to write upon?
Does anybody have paper and a writing utensil? I don't know how to use these.
I just slowly pointed Hyacinth. I'm like, gotta be something in a bag or a pouch, right?
I think that is a question for the anemone.
Why would I turn a beautiful tree into a bastardized version of itself?
That is my bad. That is on me. That is that of all of us, you'd be the least likely to do.
I would never commit such a crime.
Anemone, I just want to know where the line is here. I just need to understand. So the trees we're not going to touch. But if I rip the flesh off a bloody mammal, that's okay? If I use their leathers to make some parchment or something?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Okay. Trees, no. Any other creature, yes. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use, I guess, some sort of like wilderness magic to be like, come here, little squirrel. I just need to borrow your skin. That's all I need.
I don't think you have the time to try to craft leather.
to cure a skin.
That went unexpectedly somehow.
But definitely everyone is very clear as they're trying to figure out how to possibly get a map or direction.
Kryto, if
kind of going around like, hey.
If you just were to like draw it in the dirt, can your visual contraption take a relic of it?
Yes.
Oh, he says that works.
That's much easier.
Go away, squirrel. We don't need you after all. Goodbye.
I will say, when he draws it, I do my best to look at it and remember it. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I mean, I'm like trying to commit this to memory in case the phone gets broken, you know? Like, all right, 10 paces left, right, okay. Avoid the three-headed dog. That's just good advice. Okay, and further down, right, you know?
He finds a loose fallen branch and kind of draws around in the area. Not pulled off a tree, already on the ground.
Oh, where that line is.
And draws the area. He shows you where the temple is. There seem to be a few other structures nearby and around that he points out. Then he shows you this main central building. And he also draws within a few paths. And he specifically marks paths that he believes are dangerous, but shows you a path that he believes will be relatively safe. Though he warns you that sometimes the unliving are unpredictable. Yes, B. Dave.
Is there any sort of insight or, you know, detect lying mechanic here? Because I mean, like, this dude just rolled out of the bushes and is like, of course I'll show you how to go. And it's like,
Yes.
I'm gonna vibe check this guy.
He has antlers. I trust him innately.
He's a bro. Clearly, good guy.
He's
He's
Apo.
He's an exile. He's fine.
Yeah, he's down with Apo. That's true.
He's down with
Apo's-
Apo.
I feel like Koyos, he trusts this guy. He seems to be on the level.
He is, how we say, a chill dude. I think he will suffice.
He's gotten into the forest fungus. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you guys now have a map that you can continue farther into these strange ruins.
After we all have a chance to look at it, committed to memory to the best of our ability, and Credo takes a picture of it, I make a point to kick it up with my foot on the off chance we're being followed. You know what I mean? Like, we got one shot at this here, and then no.
So you continue farther. You follow the paths, and as you move, this spiritual energy becomes stronger. Normally, you can't see shades unless so you can physically kind of have your spirit leave your body to enter Hades and interact with the shades. But normally you can't see them. But here you do occasionally see like a person made out of glowing energy wandering these old ruins. And you recognize them, those of you who have a magical background, as wraiths. They are spiritual beings, shades that enter our world. They are incredibly dangerous and can't be harmed using any physical weapon, but they sure can harm you. But even though some of them are a little close and a little wandery and you're kind of on edge, because of this path that this mysterious stranger gave you, you do feel relatively safe as you move past these strange things. And eventually you come to this huge building, kind of like a ziggurat made out of metal and concrete in these jungles. And you see a door to enter where he said you should travel. However, there seems to be some sort of magical seal or lock upon it.
I think I know this one. Friend.
Nothing seems to happen.
My pronunciation off? I swear you're supposed to speak friend and that.
I don't know. I'm not really. I don't really know much about these magical wards. So,
would I make a knowledge check to figure this out, and maybe someone else can be better suited for this?
Sure. So you give it a quick examination, and you're able to tell that this is a magical lock. It looks like someone has put a spell on it recently. Because your knowledge is pretty good, you have a suspicion that it was probably Pathos protecting his tracks. And someone will have to break this, possibly using magical power.
all right.
I think Krydo will attempt to break it.
Okay. Your experience with Pathos and Apollo and all of those various things in your deep relationship with him, you can see right through how he set this magical lock up. How do you break this lock open, Krato?
Kryto looks at the lock and goes, "What's his favorite pet's name?" Puts it in. It unlocks. Predictable. Of course it is. Of course it's Tinkle?
Parrot,
Yeah, Tinkle. That's his pet fish. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
he discovered he didn't have to break the lock or overwhelm it or do anything. He just used the passcode. The door kind of twists and moves open, these huge metal gates. And behind it is a concrete hallway that seems to go on for 50, 100 feet before turning in both directions. Would you like to do anything other than continue forward along your path marked by the map?
I would say I send Fowl out front again, but when we're walking, I'm actually bringing up the rear and I'm rotating where I'm looking back the direction we came the whole time as we're going.
Fowl's kind of in the front, giving things a little sniff. You guys occasionally, Galati looks back around, holds the back and rear as you move deeper in here.
Guido is probably at the front since he has the picture of the map.
Is this ziggurat dark on the inside? Like, is there any sources of light?
There are no sources of light in this tunnel, so someone will have to light a light source of some sort.
May I?
Okay.
I will, the same hand that I raised earlier that had the big glow-in-the-dark eye, the big bright light, I'm going to raise two hands with two eyes and cast Create Major Light.
Oh, yeah, you have that. So he just radiates light energy and fills the hall like a beacon.
You should have called it Rave Hands.
Appreciate we all went to Sandstorm like immediately.
Oh,
Yeah. We're not monsters.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Some things will outlast the civilization. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even in the far apocalypse of Anesidora, there is still a sandstorm.
Yep.
So you turn down the concrete hallways with Fowl in the front, and suddenly one of the walls smashes open. Like something just passes through and breaks through it. You see this being, which I will send a picture to you real quick.
I project this will be nothing but unilaterally positive.
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's great, guys.
It is the golem of the Kool-Aid Man come to welcome us to sweet treats.
I'm just saying in advance, has anybody tried tummy scritches? People thought Fowl was not domesticatable, and here we are.
Smashes through the wall. You feel like it's probably not domesticatable.
Oh, come on. Again, has anybody tried tummy scratches?
Where's its tummy?
Yeah, where in the robot is the tummy?
At the bottom bit there, that like it's got like it's got little arms. Like, it's got big arms, little arms. Fall's got big arms, little arms. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, has anybody tried? I just putting that out there.
I would say clearly it's like you gotta push the nose and then it collapses in on itself.
Exactly right. You know, like it's boopable, a very boopable robo snoot.
I was thinking like a little head tussle. You know,
you made its arms too friendly. It's like it's like short circuit for those that are of an age. It's like a friendly little robot. Like it doesn't have like a buzzsaw or like pliers or some shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is a friendly robot.
I mean, what if we all hold its hands?
Just saying this. It's got. Has anybody tried? There's four of us, four hands, and then our protagonist can boop on its snoot, and we win.
All right.
Yeah.
So as it sees you, it gives off this screaming sound that makes it incredibly difficult to hear anything in this chamber. And we are going to enter combat rounds real quick. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to fight. There are lots of other options. Option one, of course, always being run away. But there are a variety of other ways that you can face this thing. You can hide from it, you can run, you can use magical energy to try to hold it in place, or you can use your environment to potentially fight it. There are various things you can do. And Anemone, you're up first.
Oh, heck. Oh, she wants to be selfish and protect herself, but I feel like she would try and grab it, like summon vines to try and hold it at the very least so it can't move.
So Anemone reaches up to try to block this thing, and it just swings at her and grabs at her and will do a quick attack. But fortunately, even though it swung at you and hit you pretty hard, you are not currently injured. Let's continue in the line. Krell, you are able to react, and also your son acts at the same time.
So then I'm just going to try and back away from this thing to keep myself between the weird attacking robotic thing.
You can call it an unliving if you like. Most
Unliving,
people call it an unliving, or you could call it a banshee, which is actually the name of this type of machine.
All right. Well, I'll say, Pizzo, get back, stay behind me, and then I'll try and shoot it with my crossbow.
Okay. This shot, it feels like these banshees' armored plates soak a lot of the damage, and you only actually are able to do 2 damage to it, as it reduces the damage. Next up, Monty.
See, I hike up the rifle and the barrel starts spinning again, and I say, I can but pull the trigger. Fate defines the destination of the shot. And go ahead and blast him.
Oh, you break its armor with the shot. So your shot is so powerful that there is now a weak point on this banshee that other people can swing at. And divine intervention is at the same time that this thing is kind of going at you guys and you shoot at it, a huge animal jumps through the same hole it just came through. It looks exactly like Fowl, except way, way bigger and more vicious. And it starts clawing at and biting at this banshee. And you just watch these 2 huge monsters wrestling with each other as you're standing there.
Give a little whistle for Fall to actually fall back. I know I said I sent him in, but when that happens, I'm actually like, come back this way. Yeah. Not sure if this is good for us or bad for us, everyone, but I have softened it up a bit.
So this Nyx dog is rolling around and biting on this banshee, tearing at it, especially interested in this hole that Galati just shot in. And at the same time, the banshee is punching at and clawing at the Nyx dog and just screaming its head off. So, Credo, what are you doing?
Credo is going to hold his action, and I want to see this play out because they might be tearing each other apart. They don't have to do anything.
Enemy. So that's the Banshee. It's going to take a swing at this Nyx dog. It's not fighting very effectively right now. And Koyos.
Okay, so I'm gonna raise that hunting revolver that I produced earlier, put my little shawl here, steady the weapon, and fire.
So thanks to the weak spot that Galanti hits, that thing just goes right in and starts smashing up all of the Banshee's insides. You can hear parts of the Banshee spinning up and cracking and being destroyed. And the Nyx dog on top of it just starts to break it apart as it's tearing pieces off of the Banshee. And we'll go into round 2. Though at this point, the Banshee is very messed up and on the ground. Galanti.
Storyteller.
Yes.
Knowing what I know about Fowl, would I feel like letting the next dog be the one to kill it or eat it while it's still alive is something it would find preferable? Like, is this the type of thing where maybe we need to clear out and let this thing just finish it off? Or
So based on your experience with animals, which I feel like you not only have Fowl, but you're like an experienced hunter and adventurer, not only do you think this is a great opportunity to clear out, but you also know that this might not be done because the unliving can actually regenerate.
I do look at the others and I say, this might go on further than we've anticipated. This might be an excellent opportunity for us to abscond.
I run.
Start
Whichever direction Gladius pointed, I run that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Party just all wraps up whatever they can and just starts running as they rush past this horrible battle between 2 giant monsters. You run a good ways before you stop to take a breath. Fortunately, the whole time Credo's got his little phone open on the map as you turn left and right.
In 1,000 feet, turn right at the hideous gargoyle.
Yes. That is true. The shade spirit of Credo's device. Turn left up ahead. So you eventually get to an open chamber. And in this place, there is Another thing that maybe looks like an altar, it's not dedicated to any specific god, but it's a large concrete slab in the middle of the room. And standing near it, you see Pathos and recognize him and his golden hair, and he turns to you with his silvery eyes. On the altar is the vial or cylinder device he has. Now that you've seen it, actually it's almost a foot long, but not quite, and about 3 to 4 inches in diameter. And he says, Credo, what are you doing here?
I have been sent to look for you because you have taken a relic from the Church of Apollo. I've been instructed to bring you and the artifact back in some condition or another. It's a matter of whether you want that condition to be favorable to you.
Credo, I think we've known each other long enough to tell you, but there's no way that I can bring this back to Apollo. And he draws a sword that looks like it's made out of some sort of ancient blue and purple steel that some of you recognize as a piece of one of the gods. And he says, we don't have to be enemies, Credo, but I will not allow you to take this back.
Why?
You see, there are people operating in Apollo, chosen, who hate the exiles. Oh, B-Dave, are you?
I know this is a very important monologue, and I don't mean to interrupt it, but I shoot the relic.
Okay, shoot.
When he's like, I won't let you, I'm like, great.
All right, let's take a shot.
So they're going like, "No, great job, Galati, but I want to hear more about this. Let's put this up in a minute, Pathos. We have to do some things."
So you blast it. It bursts and scatters across the room in the other direction. Pathos just looks around and yells, "No! What have you done?" And as he says that, you see this device open and crack, and these black tendrils start to pour out of it into the room.
That's
And
probably not positive.
I'll just
Seems bad.
That was the part of my dream that was the worst part. Galati, you just brought the worst part to
That also
life.
is
You
fire-
didn't mention
fire
it
for
involved
the
me shooting, but okay.
Well,
I mean, why-
before now,
Why did you even bring me if shooting was the wrong move?
appropriately
Him.
at the top of
he
initiative-
sucks.
At the top of initiative to respond to this is Koyos.
Yeah. Okay, so I turn to Kree totally fast and I say, "What are your thoughts on Pathos, dead or alive?"
I will not suffer him to live. And he also pulls out a ranged weapon.
And then I just go, "Oh, okay, good. We all agree." And I pull out my revolver and I just fire at Pathos.
4 damage to Pathos. Krell, you see this thing has now scattered across the floor and is bursting with black energy, and these tendrils are coming out of it, and Pathos has just been shot and is like, "Oh, no, what are you doing?"
I'd like to interrupt and say, Pathos, is that what you wanted to happen, or no?
No.
Okay,
It's-
that's good, right? We like that.
I want to shoot Pathos like in his dominant hand. Like I just want to like remove his inability to try and like use that hand as well.
2 damage. So we are up to 6 damage on Pathos. He's feeling it. The first set of tendrils are pushing out, and then another set pushes out larger and kind of reaches out into the room. And it seems to be spreading. Credo.
I'm going to figure out how to turn it off and depower it.
So you assess the situation. You see this thing kind of coming out. You definitely get the sense that this thing is dangerous, and you need to physically contain it.
I relayed that to groups like, we need to figure out some sort of container to trap this thing in. I don't know how, but there's also all of you who could think about this as well.
Would a tight woven basket be enough?
Ooh.
Would a deftly woven basket be enough?
And this is why I shop in your flower shop.
It's very tightly woven.
I have tiny hands. They are very deft. Would it be enough?
Maybe. So next up in the initiative is actually Galanti.
Well, I've been led to believe that violence was the incorrect approach last time. So, but although I did hear Credo say, "I will not suffer him to live," right?
I believe he said that.
Okay.
My exact words.
Flashback to the vision, though. I mean, obviously the vision was symbolic, but did it seem like it was this room and it was that guy and like a horrible tentacle monster? But it seemed like he was friends with the horrible tentacle monster, right?
You're not sure if he was friends. He was standing there and the monster was coming out of the canister. But
It came like from him. So
it came, like from the vial in his hands that is now on the floor and open.
In the vision, he was holding the vial and it was coming out.
Yes.
Great. So he wanted this loose. I'll go ahead and kill him, and then we're gonna deal with this later. Yeah, I'm gonna put foul on him too, as well. Like we're gonna make sure
So
that we clean this guy up. Yeah, a divine punishment.
Yes. So what happens now is your gun jams up.
Oh,
And
fate has
see-
intervened.
The tendrils are starting to push towards you, and foul attacks. He's going to do 3 damage. So I think he's up to 9 damage at this point. So he is very near death and kind of falling on himself. And Nemini, you're up next.
I feel stressed.
It
So there's tentacles coming up. There's this guy. I don't care about this guy. How long does it take to weave a tightly woven basket? Is it like 72 hours? What's the...
So it's going to be a long time. But what you can say is that maybe you brought with you, among your many supplies, a large, tightly woven basket.
Hyacinth! Tag in!
Yeah. Hyacinth flies into the room near you.
She just saunters up, brings me one of my many tightly woven baskets.
You paw around really quick and fail to find a basket that you feel like will be anywhere near good enough for this.
Boo.
So you can give into your hubris and try to really dig in there and maybe use something that you feel like isn't quite good enough.
Absolutely.
All right.
What's in there? I'm taking the first thing I see that is any sort of container. Does Tupperware exist? Like, what's the vibe?
So
we're gonna Tupperware Cthulhu. I'm here for it.
Put it in the fridge next to Azathoth. Perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
On a piece of tape, I'll just write "do not eat."
Digging through quickly, you find not the tightly woven basket you were hoping for, but big plastic jug, and then another few baskets, and a lot of little things that you can start to pass around and be like, Credo, try to put something in it. And you can grab your plastic bit and start scooping up tendrils that
I'm just throwing plastic at the team, and I'm waddling around trying to scoop up large portions of goo from the floor and doing my best.
And Emily's just going around trying to grab goop. And as she's grabbing goop, you can see it just continues to kind of spread and grow. And there are a few plants like still growing in this area, some mosses around, some fungi. And Anemone, being particularly in sync with all this stuff, does notice that anytime one of this black goop touches one of it, it just dies and shrivels up.
No.
And at the end of the round, it is finally Pathos, who's just been standing there taking everything. And he falls down to his knees and looks right at Credo and says, You have to stop it. You have to destroy it. And he starts spitting up blood.
That is why I am here, you dumb bitch.
Why did you even bring it here if it was of this clearly detriment? Okay, fine.
And interestingly, in the next round, Pathos is actually back at the top.
Maybe we should listen to Pat.
I was just gonna say, maybe we know Pathos is Pathos if we just let him talk.
In my defense, I didn't shoot him. I shot the thing.
Yeah.
I shake a jug of goo at him and I say, "What is this?"
He starts to crawl
Who hurt
towards
you?
Credo and looks out at Anemone. He says, It's a weapon. They were going to use it. How to stop them? He's just spitting up blood. Anemone's kind of scooping up black goop, and Pathos is crawling along the ground, begging for you to stop it. And Galanti, what would you like to do?
There doesn't seem to be very many violence-oriented solutions to the problem at current. I mean, presumably when I shot the thing, it broke.
Yeah.
but it's all coming out from the tube.
Yeah, there's like a crack in the tube and it's kind of emerging.
I know we got this map of like away from terrible places and everything. Did we see any like, I don't know, giant pits, chasms, things of that nature?
Not of the giant variety.
Everyone, do we think it would be valuable to have this be not here, or are we solely focused on resealing the container?
I think the biggest question is, can this thing actually be killed?
Fowl is fairly spry. I can send him to run with this thing and drop it in one of the various ravines and whatnots that we encountered along the way here, but I don't know that that solves the problem so much as simply relocates the problem.
It's like
My
kicking the
biggest
problem off the
concern
road.
is making sure that we are alive. The artifact and pathos can be explained later to the church. We should be alive first, whether that artifact is retrievable or not. So let's get rid of it if we cannot save it.
I'm kind of scrambling here, unfortunately, because I do one thing well. I kill stuff. But Fowl is fast and magic resistant. So is there anything that I saw along the way that might even make remote sense of like a place to have Fowl? Like basically like pick up this canister and take it and drop it.
Honestly, if I was going to put it somewhere, the only place I could think is like maybe inside of that Banshee, because there's a hole in it and it's like an armored case. But
Say less.
No!
Okay.
it doesn't-
This is a terrible idea.
Nope, I love where this is headed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Fowl grab the canister and I'm just like whistle for him to like head back, and I'm gonna run that direction also. Fowl's faster than me, so I'm like, hopefully the magic won't hurt him because he's magic resistant.
He is magic resistant, which is going to help him. So
I just basically yell, "The Banshee!" Like, I just like run back with my gun.
amazing.
Yeah.
So Foul runs, scoops up the canister, and he and
Yeah.
Galacti are on the case. Anemone.
This may not work.
And I'm like, wait, is the Nick's dog still eating the Banshee though? No, he's gone.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to whisper to maybe the people, but mostly to the plants that are still in the room. Like, we're gonna talk about the weird thing that Pathos said about they want to use it as a weapon. Is he talking about the Church of Apollo? I feel like we just kind of skipped over that. I'm gonna save that for later. That seems important to me.
Plants tell you that Pathos had come here to meet somebody that they knew was going to be here soon, who was going to help them with containing and destroying this thing. And they don't know much about what exactly was going to go on with it. They just know that he was meeting someone here.
Plants
Oh,
are
boy.
way better listeners.
Oh boy, I
Those are
just
great
yell
ones.
down the hallway to Lottie and Fowl and try my best. I know it is not going to work, but I'm just like, and it goes down the hallway, just little O's. And is everybody else still in the room?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. There's supposed to be a meeting and there's potentially a way to contain this, but probably not if it goes in a living that will maybe now grow tentacles as well as mechanical arms. And then I run down the hallway.
She's running, and Credo, you're up.
Credo, with all of this information, is not quite sure what to do. Oh, wait a minute. He's going to try to run around the area, and maybe there's a room where we could trap it in.
You take a look around, and because of your magical power, you do know that you can close these doors, and they are incredibly powerful and sturdy. So you might be able to create some sort of space.
So I'm going to create a room trap, if at all possible.
You just take a quick look around, look through the area, test out the Hades controls, and you're able to create a room trap.
If we can lure the Banshee here, or the artifact here, whatever it is, put it here, I will contain it. And I have my hand on whatever panel it is to activate it when it's time.
And Koyos.
The greenery said that there was someone else coming
Yes.
to assist Pathos. And Creto, you created a trap room for the person that was coming.
For the goo.
For the goo.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to hide myself and ambush this other person if they arrive, so we can get more empirical data. And I'm probably going to like kneecap him with this revolver, because there is there's no logic in the world that states this person being injured is a threat. Like it's a bad idea to me now. So
revolver ready, aimed like at knee level. Just go. All right, whenever he shows up.
So you're waiting it out. And then
Mhm.
bottom of the round, Krell.
I'll wait with Koyos, but then I'm gonna tell Pizzo, I need you to run back to the entrance, get outside, and as soon as you can, hide. I'll come get you.
And he starts running after Galati and Foul. So we are in another round. Credo, you're up again. You've now created a room trap. It looks like Anemone has a good amount of black gunk in her various containers, and Galati has left the room.
All right, so he's going to basically hold whenever whatever needs to get trapped into the room can get trapped. He will just press the button on the panel and close it.
All right. So Anemone, you're holding a jug of black goo.
Did I hear what Credo said about the room?
You're still standing in the room.
Yeah.
Then I'll just throw the containers of goo in the room.
Dump your jug into the room. It still seems to be kind of like slowly expanding, but it's in the room now.
Okay.
Once it's in the room, I click on the panel to close the door.
All right.
But doesn't Foul still have some?
Yes.
Oh, I have the source of it.
Okay, so I go after them now.
Galanti, you and Foul rush around. You can see that at this point, the Nick's dog at some point grew tired of the Banshee and left. But the Banshee is now kind of lying on the ground. You can see the hole where you shot through it, but the parts of the Banshee are starting to slowly form back together, and the hole that you pierced is slowly closing, though it's still pretty impressive right now.
As I'm just running towards it, praying slightly, kind of under my breath, as I'm moving along, I'm like, "Dear sacred sisters, Clotho, Lachesis, Atropos, guide my hand here. May your will be done. May fate play out in your accordance." And when I get close enough, I do try and just jam the canister into the Banshee.
Okay.
I make a point to use not my shooting hand in case this goes as poorly as it very well might. So left hand jamming the canister in through the hole.
The canister is jammed, the hole closes over it, and the Banshee starts to boot back up and float back into the air.
Storyteller.
Yes.
I realize we haven't said this out loud, but these people live in this world, and they're far more competent of the world that they live in than we are.
Yes.
It does say on my character sheet that I have 2 communication devices.
Yes.
Is it in any way reasonable that I might have given one of them away to someone else somewhere along this journey?
Yes.
Right. So, in keeping with that, is it fair to say that I might have some idea about this trap room? Because that plan came about after I was gone.
I think it's completely reasonable that Credo or Anemone could have communicated to you, we have a room. You got to get us to the room.
Right. Because otherwise I'm like, great. Yeah. I just feel like I'm like, okay, now we got to get it back to the room, Phil. And I turn around and see Pizzo.
Pizzo's there. And he's like, God.
Okay, okay, Pizza, you need to be not here, okay? I'm gonna get this thing's attention. Hey, whoa, Banshee, see that little scratch? That was our doing. You want another one? Come on. And I like fire a warning shot past the Banshee's head and then run, you know, trying to get it to follow me and ignore Pizzo.
Flies down the room. Pizzo kind of like ducks to the side as this huge thing flies over. Everyone in the main room hears this horrible sound as Galati comes running in.
I think it worked!
Followed closely behind by this huge mechanical machine. And I believe Galati is going to run into your trap room at this point.
Yep, my hand is on the panel. Like, when we're going to coordinate that.
You hear as I'm heading towards it, I whistle again and Fall kind of like slides to a stop where Fall doesn't go into this room. Because if this is going to be a one-way trip, it's just a one-way trip for me, basically. You know?
All right, so Galati rushes into the room, the Banshee after him, he's facing off, and how are you going to escape this situation?
That's an excellent question. Excellent question. Okay, all right. Could you describe the actual room and how it is in here for me?
Sure. So it looks like basically a glorified closet. There are solid concrete walls all around. There are metal markings. There are a lot of old like stands and trays for holding things, and there are a few like canisters of stuff that were probably here long ago, but have long since been looted or opened or destroyed.
Is there any way I can use either of those things to kind of literally like smoke bomb this thing? Like we're running, boosh, and I'm like, oh, I'm over there.
I definitely think there's enough junk and stuff in this room for you to keep your head down and try to sneak around it as it searches for you.
A lot of noise, a lot of yelling to get it to come in here because I need it to stay in here, and then like immediately try and basically like button hook back out.
Okay.
I wanted it to know that I was in the room so it wouldn't turn around. I just needed misdirect. And the moment that I like scramble out of the room, I'm like, Crito, if you would.
Open and
before you, well, I was gonna say before you close, is there anything can I try something crazy? So I know we're waiting for this other guy to show up, but I want to perform a miracle.
Okay.
This would be an optimal time.
Yeah, absolutely. So with all this like vile, icky darkness in the room and you're about to close the button, I want to go all out on performing a miracle. I'm assuming this is a temple of Apollo. There's got to be a lot of ways to magnify the light. I want any god out there in the universe to just smoke and purge this creature from existence with all my might.
And as B Dave said, we kind of banked a divine intervention for you. The power of the gods, you feel them for real in this moment, and you push this thing back, and you feel like you've somewhat contained and controlled this dark energy, and then Credo slams the door closed. And as you're all taking a moment to breathe, you hear a low cough from Pathos, who's basically dying on the ground near you guys. And then you see a shape entering the room from the back that it's huge, it's big, it's twice as tall as a person. There are these huge wings that they remind you of the Nix dog's wings, but instead of fur, they're feathers pushing along the ground. Behind it, this back half of the body is like a deer with hooves clicking across the ground. And then the top front is a human woman wearing leather clothes, and she has glowing tattoos, and her hair seems to actually float in the air around her large, sharp ears. And her eyes seem to iridescently glow. And she holds a huge spear and says, "What have you done?" And how would any of you like to respond?
Awesome. I just say, she sounds awesome.
I feel like this is like an action hero line where we say something like, "We're cleaning up your mess," and then like firing or something. I don't know.
This time I just look at Koyos and Crito. I'm like, you all are the holy men. You know what I'm gonna do.
And then I'm like, yeah, fill it full of holes because we're holy men. Yeah, it's a
That's
the fade out gets me every time. Well, Crito, I don't know about you, but do you think we should use our knowledge to figure this person out? Like figure out what this person is?
first thing I do is motion her over to where Pathos is and explain this person was a threat to all of us. So if you have been coming to deal with him in a certain way, you have arrived too late. But why are you here?
She walks towards him. By walk, I of course mean her huge, powerful wings on the front and her hooves behind her. She leans down next to Pathos and touches him. This energy flows out of her hand into him, and his wounds start to stop bleeding, though they're still there. She stands back up, blood still on her hand, and she says, "I have come to try to stop this thing. Your friend or enemy, Pathos, told me of this weapon designed and intended to be used against the exiled here. He asked for my help. But now that I see it, now that I've seen what has happened and how you fought it, I don't think that I have the power to destroy this. I think there is only one thing that can destroy this. The heart of a god.
Does anybody have one of those offhand?
I feel like I'm using it currently, though.
What about like a second one?
Fowl is also using his. So.
Damn.
Game Master, what would I know the heart of a god to be?
So
the
what
reference
you,
is?
especially as a priest of Apollo, know the heart of a god to be is the power and engine source within the god city of Apollo itself.
Oh my god, that's right. I just remember. Okay.
I had a character. We have to drop this into the central battery back at the
Yes.
city of Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
How might we address you, all great and powerful goddess person?
My name is Glenn. I'm of the Druids.
Glenn of the Druid. Glenn, could we just a moment here? If we could just have a moment to confer amongst ourselves.
Take a moment. As you do, she walks towards the door that you've trapped this banshee behind and are hearing these kind of smashes and sounds. She places her hand upon the door and you hear the sounds stop and quiet behind the door. And you guys can now talk.
Hey, so I saw the thing that you saw, which might have just been a freaky bad dream, but was, I think, a little bit prophetic. And if Apollo made it seem like something terrible was going to happen if we didn't intervene, but our intervention, I mean, I bet some weight for this, seems to have helped facilitate such terrible outcome. So did Apollo want the terrible outcome or expect us to fail or...
Great questions. Great questions.
Very good question. I could try to talk to him, see what he has to say.
You can try to talk to him, but the reality is, how will this affect us as chosen and as exiled? And are we going to continue to live once we commit this act? So, as of right now, it doesn't matter what Apollo wants. Right now, in this moment, where we are standing, we have to decide for everyone what we want.
Here's how I understand the situation. I'm not entirely certain what my miracle accomplished against that foul weapon. And if the only thing that can destroy it is taking it to the epicenter of Apollo, and Apollo has desires to use it, there may be a greater conspiracy. Now, that being said, as far as how I feel, I cherish peace more than prosperity. So if there is a way that this is silent, so the exiles and the chosen have no need for animosity, I am fine with that. But my major concern is to achieve peace over prosperity. That thing needs to be gone. And to hand it to Apollo, who may or may not have instigated this entire operation, well, that might be a little counterintuitive.
Do you not understand what putting something like that into the heart of a god could do? It could destroy Apollo. It could destroy all of the people who live there.
Yeah,
and we cannot have that.
I actually look at Krell and I say, you don't say too much, friend, but out of all of us, you seem to have the most stake in this world. Piso, you make a living bringing about life. I make a living doing just the opposite. So what do you think?
I mean, this is something that's beyond any of my knowledge. I don't know about, relics and conspiracies and, the end of the world. I know how to grow mushrooms. I know how to look after my son. And, outside of that, it's like, what can I do that'll help people the most? What can I do that'll stop the most bad around me? That's how I try and go about it. I just don't know what that looks like here.
Koyos, you know how you showed us what you saw. Can you show them?
Which them do we refer to?
I know he's like his wounds have healed, but you said not completely. I literally put the barrel in Pathos' eye on the ground, just hold it on his head, and I'm like, these two,
Oh, Pathos and Glenn.
Glenn, yeah.
I think we haven't asked like the most important question, which is, do you think Glenn needs a new best friend, and is it me?
I think the answer to both of those questions is yes, clearly.
Yes, I think there was no debate. You are definitely their new best friend.
Hyacinth might be a little upset, but maybe if they see what we saw, it might help shed
Yeah.
some light.
Good question. Good
Also, Pathos, look at me with your other eye. Hey, if you try anything, I will splatter your brains across this floor, okay? All right. Just literally just barrel in the eye socket while I'm like, yeah,
right there on
him.
This is the kind of talk I sent Pizza away to specifically avoid.
Yeah.
Well, I
The whole
can
time
speak
we're
the
like,
truth now that the lad is off to safety. Exactly.
it's like, we know this is going to get dicey. Let's save this kid from that. So I get my hands, I get the two kind of glowing eye shapes, and I place them on some form of contact on each individual we're speaking about, and I share them the visions that I've seen up to this point, including showing Pathos the horrible things that he was putting into motion.
Yeah. So Pathos looks up at you and he says, I wasn't trying to release this thing. I was trying to stop it. Don't you see?
The visions seem to say contrary.
I think another important point is that Credo was told by the church to go after him.
Yes, because you didn't explain anything that you were doing. You left the church with an important artifact. We had to go under the assumption that you were doing this for ill because you never told anyone what you were doing. And it was a relic of the church.
And it does seem that Apollo sort of backed his play with the aforementioned horrifying vision.
Yeah, I think
told him.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. The church, you can't trust the high priest. He's going to use the weapon. That's why I had to take it. That's why they can't be trusted. He is working against us and against Apollo's interests. He is going to kill people.
What's his name?
I don't know. You guys want to name him real quick?
His name is Apollon.
Apollon, like an Apollon Guther. There you go. You get both.
All right, we'll do Epilogue. He says, Epilogue, he's going to try to release it. You have to stop him or something. And Glenn walks over to your group and she says, thank you. I can't go myself into Apollo. They'd stop me immediately, but Credo, you have connections. You might be able to take your friends there unnoticed. And I really do say that the heart of Apollo is far stronger than whatever this evil thing is. This is the work of a man, not the work of a god. If you deliver it to Apollo, then it will be destroyed, and at least for a moment, people will be safe.
I would like to verify this statement with the system of Apollo. So being in this area, he tries to contact Apollo and tries to figure out if there's something within the Church of Apollo that is a little untoward or feels suspicious that confirms all of this stuff that is happening right now, because Krydo doesn't believe it and he needs facts.
So you reach out to the power of Apollo. This doesn't even require a roll because there's so much power and energy here. And a shard of Apollo manifests before you all. He stands at something like 30, 40 feet tall, made of yellow and white energy, but he's broken. Pieces of him are missing, like a digital artifact. And he says, my follower, what do you need from me?
I need you to verify what Pathos and Glenn have said is true. That what they claim is that the Church of Apollo is corrupt, and that we need to follow with their path and put this into the heart of Apollo. I need to know that directly from you.
I cannot tell you what is in the hearts of men. That is for you to decide. But based on what I have seen and my calculations, it is correct that this device is incredibly dangerous and must be destroyed. And it has been determined that the heart of Apollo would be powerful enough to destroy it without any negative ramifications. Is that all that you need currently?
Glory to Apollo. Yes,
A
that is
delight
all I need.
with you. And he demanifests into digital artifacts around the room as loose energy radiates.
Well, your God just shows up like I've been praying to the face for years, and I mean they guide my shot on occasion, but I mean they never like, hey, what do you want to know? Is that the thing that happens?
It doesn't always happen, and I need some time. For Apollo to manifest means that this information is so powerful and so important that we must do it. But that also means that the last couple of decades where I've worked with the church have been a lie. So I need to walk and go away for a little bit and process that, because I am not going to be okay for a little bit, and then we will go and handle this.
I understand.
Take the gun off of Pathos's eye and just like hoist him up, paying no attention to the fact that he's grievously injured, you know? Like, on your feet.
Glenn waves her hand in front of the door that Crito closed, and it opens. And behind the door is all of the junk and trash. You see the Banshee asleep on the ground. She walks over, placing her hand over the still slightly damaged place, pulls the vial out, and you notice that it's partially repaired itself. And the jars and containers that Anemone contained everything in are now empty of the strange black liquid. And she walks towards you and holds the vial out in front of your group. And she says, "Who will carry this?"
It was my mission given to me by the gods. If need be, I will continue my mission. I will carry the burden.
Very well. It will be your honor.
The mistake you made was in your foreshadowing, where you were like, "You four will stop this thing." You didn't mention your part of it, so now you might have painted yourself into a corner there. Actually, you didn't say "we five." You said "you four."
Yeah. Well, I don't think sometimes I could say, well, no, I saw myself get ripped to pieces by the blue orb, but it doesn't matter. Look, it's what it is.
Right? You ripped to pieces by the blue orb, you carrying the death goo?
Oh, no. It's all coming full circle. Hey, it's okay. I'll carry the burden.
We've come full orb. You never go full
orb. Never go full orb. I'll take the mantle with me. It was my quest to find you, and that's accomplished. And then we'll go and we'll carry forward. I think it might be wise. Obviously, Pathos, if you live, don't return to Apollo. That'll only tip off the high priest if this is correct. And Crito, I know I may be a little unorthodox, but I am a man of comfort and wisdom in my circles. And if I can say this, though you look to Apollo for the sun, the light has always been from you. And when darkness chokes the horizon, become the sun. I know you will. All right, let's get this disgusting thing back to the city of Apollo and take the next steps.
I will say, I go over to Pathos and I just like tear a chunk of his like ripped bloody shirt where he's been like shot and it's all, and I'm like, I just kind of tear it, especially if it's got any kind of symbol or anything on it. I can be like, "You died here today," and just sort of tuck it and turn.
He nods at you. Glenn says, "I will take him with me. Thank you."
Where are you going, Glenn specifically only? I don't care about Pathos.
It's are you in the market for a new best friend? I can verify. Phenomena is a quite wonderful person.
I kind of lean to the elbow nudge, like if you want some great light shows, set the mood. I can definitely kind of
Right. Right.
As a druid of the world, it is my duty to travel and help those in need wherever I can.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Wonderful. Perhaps our paths will cross again.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's fine. I'm not
So
worried about it.
any particular grove that you might frequent more often than others? Says she speaks to plants. Actually, you could literally keep
Reaches
in touch
over
through a.
Can we be pen pals?
Yeah, she reaches
What
over
are those
towards the
digits? What
floor,
are those coordinates?
and a plant, a vine, starts to grow out of the ground until it sprouts a small yellow flower.
Oh, hold on.
Picks and hands to you and says, "If you ever need me, ask."
Gobsmacked.
That's not a no. That is not a no. That's
Perfect.
She lifts Pathos into the air with both her arms and says, "May you travel well," and turns and walks out of the temple in the other direction.
I look at the flower and I say, "Talk about a budding friendship."
Budding friendship. I think it's a blossoming romance. What are you talking about?
There it is.
You're going to have time to rest and recover from your journey. Krell, you now have time to return to your homestead with your son, who's learned some things the hard way in this adventure.
Literally went to hell and back. Yeah.
And I think with that, that brings us to the end of today's adventure. And we will continue.
Dun 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 dun. But as we're like epilogue post credit scene, as we're like making camp that night and getting everything ready, it's like, again, I'm just saying, if there's something you don't want shot, you should very clearly express that to me in advance.
We work like a no-go call, be like 1 for yes and 2 for no, something.
But the default is yes. I mean, it
Okay.
needs to, it's quick on the draw, literally and figuratively, but okay.
I will say, as Galati mentioned, I would love to hear a quick bit about what you guys are doing immediately after and how you're preparing. I know that Credo said that he needs to take a moment. So what are you doing? How are you meditating on this?
So Crito returns to his glamping yurt.
His glurt.
His glurt.
If you head over to it, do you go glurt?
Go
glurt.
Go, Glart.
I was just thinking that.
He heads to his go-glurt, mutters a prayer, being thankful that Apollo chose to manifest in front of him today, and he goes through every record, any record of Pathos that he connects through with Hades, and starts eliminating every presence of him so that he is never tracked again within the church records.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Anemone, what are you doing?
Any of y'all ever seen the Little Mermaid cartoon? There's a scene where she's not the actual flower, but she's picking the flowers and she goes, "She loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not." I'm not picking leaves off of flowers, but I am pressing on the flowers and talking to Glenn, but I'm not using it to call her. I'm just pretending like we're talking. That's it. That's the whole thing.
All the pretend conversations like, "How's your day?"
Yeah. Like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite flower? Do you like nightshade?
Doing that like Anemone and Glenn. Glenenemy. Glenenemy.
Enemy.
And, Galante, I know you mentioned telling people that they should really let you know not to shoot things. Is there anything else to tell your allies during this period?
It's really more, I'm just kind of sitting over in the corner and just kind of down on the ground. I doodle sort of a thread and I just say, "Well, fate, woven, unknowable, unpredictable." And I sort of like doodle what looks like a pair of scissors around it and say, "If the thread is to be cut, please light my path. There's no good or bad fate. It's only unavoidable." and like lean in next to Fowl again, kind of pull the wing over, you know? And I'm like, Morgan, sleep mode.
Koyos, you are carrying this relic now, and this has all started with your visions. How are you reacting to all of this and this new weight placed upon you?
As a leader of the hunt and a person of both wisdom and religion for my people, I know that I am but many tools the gods choose to use to give us the best of the world. So I don't see this as a burden. I see this as a continuation of my job. And at this point now, since I'm carrying such a volatile burden, I'm sequestering and isolating myself so much more. And with it in my tent, I look at it and pull back my shawl once again. A big white light kind of begins to emanate from my head. I light some incense, and I'm going to have one last vision of this horrible weapon before I go to bed.
Okay, before we have this vision, I'd love to hear how Krell and Pizo have been changed by this experience and how they return to their farmstead.
I think the way back, I'm just telling Pizzo that, like, I'm proud of him for, one, listening to me, which he doesn't always do, and that I hope he learned that it's important to help people. It's important to know what you can and can't do. There's no shame in not doing something if you don't feel like you're up to it.
Great. And returning to Koyos's vision, you look into the future, you see this vial and yourself holding it. You see the power of Apollo, a huge, powerful being, and you go to try to place this vial into his heart, beating with power and energy that seems to burn you away as you reach towards it. When you are pulled away by a man, he looks at you with flawless skin, his body covered in magic and strange machines, and he holds a bow within his other hand, and he says, "You will never make it." And that is the end of that vision.